Hi again. This is an annual thing that Steven and I do. Hi, my name is Nathan Jones.
Steven Spades.
We are doing our I almost said Oscars. We're doing our 2019 Golden Globes predictions. Today we're going to actually be covering mostly movies. We're going to talk about television near the end. We're not really too familiar with a lot of the picks, but I mean we've seen a few shows, but I don't really think we know enough knowledge to really predict correctly.
Lots of guessing.
Lots of guessing on the TV stuff, but we have seen quite a few films, and so just like last year, I think we are going to have two different kind of categories.
Yes.
The first one going to be what we want to win.
Versus reality.
Versus reality, what we think is actually going to win, right? And so this is a really exciting time. I'm more excited for the Oscars, obviously, a little bit in the future, but Golden Globes is the first thing to hit, and so that's why we're covering this. So
yes,
let's jump into this. We're actually going to start a little bit backwards, how it's nominated here. We're going to go all the way up from Best Foreign Language to the Best Picture and Drama, and then we're going to go talk about TV. At the end of this, we're going to be guessing mostly.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, we have not seen very many of the foreign language. However, there's pretty good guesses, because we have a couple of them I think we've seen. So, go ahead and tell me, what do you think you want to win?
Okay, I'm going to start out. I'm thinking Shoplifters. It's picking up, having a little bit of momentum. The other ones have a little bit as well, but I'm not well versed. I think it may be the front runner at least. So it's my pick, but in also reality, I think it's going to win.
Oh, okay. I have Shoplifters as my pick too as well, because Koreeda, who is actually the director, we actually saw a couple of films where we saw that trailer a couple times, and so we were really excited about that. But Koreeda is a director that he's been in the Criterion collection actually, and he has a few films that I really need to see, and so I really want to see that too. But what I think is going to win is Roma. Alfonso Cuarón's Roma is actually the thing I think that's going to win, because that's the one that's got all the buzz around it. It's the one that is, I think, about to pop up at our Moxie in the Independent Cinema Theater here as well. And so I think Roma, and also I think it's going to be on Netflix as well, limited. So I think Roma's going to win, but we both want, you know, Koreeda to win.
Yes.
With Shoplifters, right?
I think it's going to be the favorite at least.
Alright, let's move on to the one that should be the most obvious one. It always is. It's the Best Motion Picture Animated. So, Steven, what do you think is going to win? What do you want to win?
What I want to win, and I know it's the front runner, it's Incredibles 2. We waited a long time for it. It came out, and I know there's a little bit of controversy with it too. Everyone's not happy with the storyline and how it played out, but I think it was well done. I think it will have a good chance. I really do think it'll win in reality as well.
If it had more Frozone in it, I'd be happy. Just personally, but I think for me, what I want to win is Spider-Man. Into the Spider-Verse. Neither of us has seen it because it hasn't been around here yet. It comes out this next week for us though. But I mean, just how it's shot, I can just tell because it's made to look like a comic, and so it's like that is something really unique to me. And a couple years ago, I know Kubo and the Two Strings. That was kind of one of my fan favorite. When someone puts a lot of animation, like a little time in there, that's my fan favorite, my underdog.
Absolutely.
But
and I haven't seen it yet. I think if I saw it, I would probably choose it. But I'm just trying to make my guess be right. And
it's Incredibles 2.
I think it's going to be Incredibles 2.
Yeah, that's my pick too. There's the dog barking. Sweet. So yeah, Incredibles 2 is going to win. That's what in reality hits, right? So let's look at a Best Original Song in the Motion Picture category. All right, what do you think you want? What do you want to win?
I'm going with All the Stars from Black Panther, all the way. Definitely, it was one of my favorites. And usually, I don't always pay attention to the songs in a movie, but this one was one that actually got a lot of radio time, picked up, and is popular. In reality, I think because of how big the movie was, I think it's going to be the score from A Star Is Born, which is Shallow. It's a music movie, but I just have to shout out and go with Black Panther because I really like the song as well.
I'm on the same boat with the reality. I picked Shallow from Star Is Born myself because I think that's that's the song that I really enjoyed, and I also did enjoy All the Stars as well. I think that's, and I saw Boy Erased, which I don't really like that song very much. I think it actually made me mad. But anyway, yeah, Shallow is going to win because Star is Born, like Steven was saying, the movie's made, it's a musical movie. And so that's clearly, you know, it's the ending song too. It's a really big one. Spoilers, there's a big event that happens in that movie. All right, let's continue to talk about music. Best Original Score, Motion Picture. What do you think?
Okay, so I'm going again with the Black Panther score. That's my favorite. Just love, there was so much great music in that movie tied to it. The album is great, soundtrack is fantastic. But I think it might be, I think the actual Golden Globe will go to the Mary Poppins right up here. I think that one's going to be the favorite. Again, it's a music movie. It is a musical. There's a lot of hype already, and it's coming out in a few days. So I know this is going to be really huge for this category.
He took the words right out of my mouth. I think that Mark Shaman for Mary Poppins Returns has this, just kind of like The Star is Born, A Star is Born. This is a musical film. We haven't seen it yet because I think it comes around Christmas time for us. But I'm just almost 100% certain that this movie's going to win that particular category for sure. So yeah, Mark Shaman for Mary Poppins Returns is what is actually going to happen. Stephen wants Ludwig for Black Panther. And yeah, so let's move on to Best Screenplay for a Motion Picture. This one's a tough one because we haven't seen, I don't think, any of them except for one.
Is there...
The Favorite. That's the only one we've seen.
Oh, yes. Okay. On screenplay, yeah.
So, what do you think, what do you want to win for Best Screenplay?
After just checking out The Favorite, I have got to go with The Favorite. I mean, it was really well done. If you like kind of the dark humor style, kind of dry humor, you're going to love it. I think that it definitely is a contender, even if it doesn't win. In reality, though, my pick is going to go with Vice. I think it actually may have a big chance here. There's hype around it. I have not seen it yet personally, but I think there's just a huge demand for it already. So I think it's going to have a lot of momentum, especially going into Oscar season.
And Adam McKay is like, you know, he wrote Big Short, and he's written several things with, he's definitely turned a leaf. He did, you know, things like with Will Ferrell years and years ago with like Anchorman and stuff, and now he's turned it to kind of a more serious, but at the same time witty and comical. So what I think is I definitely think that The Favorite is one of my favorite movies of the year. We both watched it actually, what, last night? Or no, 2 days ago. Before, yeah.
2
days ago, yeah. I don't even remember what time it is. But I think the best screenplay in motion picture, what I want to win was Alfonso Cuarón for Roma. Haven't seen it yet, but that's just what I picked. But I also think that Adam McKay has this in the bag because he's a known screenwriter. But I also think that Barry Jenkins has a good spot to also have, if Beale Street could talk, would be right there.
Definitely, yeah. I do have to give a big shout out to Barry Jenkins. It's going to be a contender. I'm just not sure if it'll actually snag the Golden Globe. It might be one of those times where it doesn't get looked at for the Golden Globe, but maybe have more of a chance for the Oscar season. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But definitely another great picture coming out from Barry Jenkins.
Yeah, can't wait to watch it.
Yes.
So now we're moving on to best performance by an actor in a supporting role in any motion picture. We got a bunch of people in here, and I've seen all of them except for one, and I think you've seen a few, or two of them. I haven't seen two of them, but what do you think is, who do you want to win?
Okay, so I have two that I want to win, and then one for reality. I would like to see either Adam Driver for BLACKKKlansman, or I would like to see Timothée Chalamet win for Beautiful Boy. Excellent performances from both. Really deep, complex characters that actually had some great substance to them. In reality, I think it might end up going, once again, Sam Rockwell may have a good year following up with his wins from last year with 3 Billboards, now coming again with a strong performance. Looks like, I haven't seen it just yet, in Vice as George Bush. So it's going to be a tight race, I think, for this category.
This is a very kind of what we were talking about with Sam Rockwell last year in the Oscars. That entire race was tight.
Absolutely.
Although obviously we all thought Sam Rockwell was going to win, but like there was other people in that race that were like, that's really good contender. You had Woody Harrelson for the same movie. You also had Willem Dafoe that I wanted to win for Florida Project, but damn, Sam Rockwell. I mean, this is very similar case here. Who I want to win, I think I'm picking Sam Rockwell based on the trailer with Vice because he just looks like a hilarious Bush. But honestly, what I think that it's between Timothy Chalamet because Beautiful Boy, his performance was that damn good.
Yeah.
And then also Mahershala Ali for Green Book because he looks like the best part of that movie. Viggo Mortensen looks great, but I think Mahershala is probably going to steal the show when we watch that movie.
Absolutely.
So I just think that's what's going to happen. So I think, yeah, Timothy, I think probably has that. But I don't know. We'll see. That one's a tight race. Either that or Sam Rockwell. So now we're moving to Best Performance by an Actor in any motion picture, musical, or comedy. Another hard one to do. I guess I'll start. Who I want to win this time actually is Robert Redford. I really, really love The Old Man and the Gun. That movie apparently is his retirement, and so I think this would be a nice nod, because this is the only thing he's on. It was a really, really great movie. It's definitely directed by one of my favorite directors, which I'm literally blanking right now, and it's just driving me nuts. Because, well, he did A Ghost Story, and he did Pete's Dragon, and he's done a few other things. I'm literally blanking right now, but I want Robert Redford to win because he just was so lovable in that movie. But I honestly think Christian Bale is going to win for Vice because, you know, that's definitely what he's like going for, and he's definitely going to be playing Dick Cheney pretty well. And so, what do you think?
Okay, first I have to say, great job for John C. Reilly and Viggo Mortensen. I think they're great, but I don't think they're contenders for this category. I think my favorites are going to be between Christian Bale and Lin-Manuel Miranda for Mary Poppins. I think that it's going to pick up again. This is, for Lin-Manuel, this is like his genre. Yeah, this is his thing. So sure. I'm expecting great things. I have not seen it just yet. But again, I think that Christian Bale will take it for, nice. If you just look at just visually the transformation, everything that's gone in for him to play this character, he's doing a lot. I mean, this is kind of showing his range. You know, this is a past Batman. This is just him in just a new light. So I think it's going to be enough that he could actually skip a win, that he could get a win, or if he gets skipped over in the Golden Globes, he may win in the Oscar.
Yeah, honestly, I think that he has something here, and you can just tell based on that trailer. He's just playing just a really silly Dick Cheney, but at the same time, like, he's like definitely another person. He's another person.
Absolutely.
All right, so now we're moving on to Best Performance by an Actor in any motion picture drama. This is a really big one, and I actually think that Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody, I think he has it. He played Freddie Mercury so well, and he transformed to even he did something with his jaw to become, you know, Freddie a little bit, and I just thought that he did such a great job there. But in all honesty, I think this is between him, Bradley Cooper in A Star Is Born, and John David Washington in BlackkKklansman, because those three just stole their performances. Obviously, A Star Is Born, you have Bradley Cooper, you know, playing this country singer with this deep accent, kind of trying to be Sam Elliott, who's also in the movie a little bit, and then John David Washington just having so much fun, just trolling the Klansmen so much that throughout the entire movie, obviously with a lot of serious parts as well. It's Spike Lee, but you know, I think it's honestly between the three of them.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I would agree. I do think that they are the contenders of the category. I am pulling for John David Washington. It's time. I mean, you got Ballers, you got this movie here, you have Monsters and Men going out. I mean, he's really working hard. He has set a path of his own, and he's doing really well. I think this is his moment. And if it doesn't happen in the Golden Globes, it's going to happen in the Oscars. That's my prediction. Same thing for Bradley Cooper. I think he did an excellent job, but I don't think he'll actually take it in this category. I think he's going to take it in directors, but we'll talk about that later.
Covering this vent up so I don't have to hear talk. So now we're moving to Best Performance by an Actress in any supporting role in any motion picture. So, we've seen a few of these. Have you seen First Man?
I saw First Man.
Okay. So, we have some favorites involved. And actually, speaking of some favorites, I think my picks are either or of them. It's either Emma Stone or Rachel Weisz. I'm going to say Rachel Weisz because it's about time for her to get a little bit more oomph. And I thought her character was definitely one of the more redeemable characters in the movie. Yeah, I'm not trying to get anything away, but that's who I want to win. But at the end of the day, I honestly think Regina King will win for If Beale Street Could Talk. Obviously, we haven't seen the film yet, but this it seems like out of all the other nominations, you got something that's kind of like, you know, a less serious movie. You have two less serious movies with Vice and The Favorite. And First Man was good, but kind of forgettable. And that movie was more about Ryan Gosling, more so than Claire Foy, even though she definitely was, you know, the wife of Lance Armstrong who held him together, because he was definitely lost a lot of the times. But I honestly think Regina King has this.
I'm going to say a little bit different.
Okay.
I think Regina King did a great job. I think we're going to see her win that night, but in a different category. Ooh. We haven't hit there yet. So I would say look out for Regina King later on. But great performance, I'm sure. Everything that she's been doing lately has been fantastic, so I'm really excited about that. My picks, favorites, and reality are going to be between Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz, again, for The Favorite. Strong performances from both. I thought Emma Stone did great, but I think Rachel Weisz will have it because the performance was just a little bit stronger from her. And I think this is a good moment for her.
Yeah, and that's just such a nice and fun movie. Like, I mean, it's definitely dark. It's definitely dark, and it's definitely comedic, but at the same time, it seemed like everybody on the set was having a good time with it.
Absolutely.
You know, obviously they're all like being very catty with each other the whole time, and they're all like, you know, pulling each other's legs and stuff, doing crazy shit. But, you know, it seems like a really fun movie, and so I honestly think that they both pulled some good things in this movie, and that's why they're both there, clearly. All right, next we're moving to Best Performance by an Actress in any Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. All right, so what I think, what I want to win is Elsie Fisher for 8th Grade. I thought she did a fantastic job of, you know, this is, I think, one of her first films, so she, you know, she captured Bo Burnham's what Bo Burnham wanted to kind of capture in that awkward age that we all hate, and just full with different emotions and all that crazy stuff. So I thought she did a really great job, and honestly, you know, it's very reminiscent of what we're doing right now, putting this up on YouTube, showing ums and uhs. and then honestly, who I think is going to win is Emily Blunt for Mary Poppins Returns. That's who I think is going to win. You know, she's Mary Poppins in this, and so that's someone who I think is going to win this category. All right, what do you think, Steven?
I'm going to agree. I'll start out with reality. I do think that Emily Blunt is going to take this one for Mary Poppins Returns. I would like to see Constance Wu take it for Crazy Rich Asians, or see Olivia Colman for The Favorite. I think that again, this is a great role, great movie, but not to be looked over. Charlize Theron and Tully, good movie, solid performance as always from her. But yeah. I don't think that she'll actually take the award with everyone else in the category.
Yeah, with everyone else in the category. I mean, it kind of overshadows it a little bit, but she did fantastic in that film, and yeah. But I was actually kind of surprised to see Tully on the thing. I'm not mad because I love the movie, but I'm just like, it's surprising because it was so early on.
I agree, but and I think that if Emily Blunt does not win, she will win later in Oscar season. Yeah, Mary Poppins has so much of a buzz already, and Emily Blunt's performance is already being hailed, so we'll see what happens. But if it doesn't happen that night, it's going to happen at the Oscars.
Oh, absolutely. All right, talking about more actresses, but this time we're talking about Best Performance by an Actress in any Motion Picture in a Drama. So, who I want to win is actually, I'll never say this, I can't believe I'm saying this, Melissa McCarthy. Can You Forgive Me is the best thing I've ever seen her, you know, in her role as this really failed author. Have you seen the movie?
I have not seen it.
Oh, it's so good. But, you know, it's so different for her because she's in all these, I'm going to say this, anyone who's a fan, terrible, terrible movies. And this is a movie where she just, it's like her Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind for, you know, Jim Carrey. and it's like your Punch Drunk Love for Adam Sandler. It's like these are roles that they're not normally in, and so that's what this role is to me, and that's why I was so damn impressed with it. So there's that, but who I actually think is going to win is Lady Gaga for A Star Is Born, because she was on American Horror Story, you know, not too long ago, so starting her acting career a little bit, but this one really shown how great of an actress she was, because Bradley Cooper obviously believed in her. You see that there's actually a lot of funny YouTube clips where she is repeating herself over and over again about there's 99 people who are saying no and one person saying yes, and that's Bradley Cooper. You have to see that. But Steven, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Lady Gaga as well. I think that she's definitely it's not even the momentum and the buzz. It's just that she did a really great job. The things that she's been doing, the projects that she's taken on, she's put her passion into them, and it's paid off. You think about when she first started out, it was just music. There was a lot of, you know, gimmicks and things that were just kind of noteworthy or buzzworthy, but she's really doing the substance to her work lately has been heavy. So congratulations to her. I think she's going to win both during this season and during Oscar season. Who I would like to see win, though, I would like to see Melissa McCarthy win. I have not seen this movie, but she is outside of her role. I did a little bit of background work to look at the movie. I was double checking because I thought that she was getting nominated for the Hollywood Puppet movie, and that is not the case. So
different. I remember that conversation actually. I did. Not that one.
I was very surprised. She got so much buzz for that movie, but not much for this one. So I think that actually may be why she won't win this category. However, it will be because she's not doing her typical comedic, you know, crazy movie role.
Yeah. So we'll definitely see this one. We have some wants and some what's going to happen probably. I think all the categories, honestly.
Pretty much.
All right, we're down to the final three main categories here for movies. Best Director of Motion Picture. All right, so who I think is going to win, honestly, he put so much damn work in this movie. I think it's going to be Bradley Cooper. You got somebody who I think, this is my pick, by the way, who I also think is going to win as well. But you got somebody who is an actor who I know, I've seen a lot of interviews with him talk about how much work he's done. He's so exhausted from this movie. He just does not want to do it. Like, I don't think he wants to do it anytime soon again. Right. He's just like so tired about it. And so like clearly you got this guy who is coming from the acting world and doing something like this, which you've seen before, you know, a couple hundred times probably from different people as well. But like this was just a really great remake of A Star Is Born, like the fourth one. But the other person I think that actually has him run for his money is actually Spike Lee for BLACKKKlansman. Just personally, I really enjoyed this movie. It's got that, you know, Spike Lee grit to it. It definitely has a message to say, and that's what Spike Lee always does. But at the same time, it's very comedic as well. It definitely pokes fun at racism, but at the same time takes it very seriously. And so I think this movie was a really fun one with you know, Washington, and you got Driver in there as well. So absolutely. What do you think?
I am definitely pulling for Spike Lee on this one. I think that it's well earned. He is a contender for the category. It's been a long time since we've gotten work from him. We'll pretend that Chirac does not exist. But to see him just come back, you know, into theaters on a wide release movie and do it so well, it was great. So I'm definitely pulling for Spike Lee. But again, I think this will go to Bradley Cooper. As I said earlier, this is going to be the category, and I think this is the category that I would feel that Bradley Cooper is hoping to win for as well. You know, he's done acting for a while, so to get, you know, kind of behind the camera credits, I think that's kind of his goal.
Yeah, we'll just see how this all pans out, because that's a highly contested one as well.
Yes.
All right, now we're down to Best Motion Picture in Musical or Comedy. So I think both of us have a favorite in this mix probably, but I think my pick that I want to win is the favorite itself, but what I think is going to win is Mary Poppins Returns. Those are the two movies that I think are, well, one I know is probably not going to win, the favorite, but it's either between Mary Poppins Returns or Vice, more likely. But, you know, that's my picks. So what do you think?
I'm also going with the favorite. The other movies are contenders, but not enough. I think the favorite has a strong momentum, and I would like to see it win. However, there's always a shakeup that happens in award season, and I think what's going to happen is Crazy Rich Asians is going to win in this category.
Wow. Okay.
In those main categories, there's always one award that goes to a surprise, and I think the surprise of the night will be Crazy Rich Asians winning for this category.
I remember I actually ran into you like a little bit before you went to that film. We were going to different ones at the Alamo, and you were meeting your friend, and I was like, I want to see Crazy Rich Asians. I'm like, really? You want to see that? And then you told me all about it, and I've heard all the buzz behind it, and so like I'm like really excited to like see this film now. Like it's out on Blu-ray, and so I'm definitely gonna get it.
It's great. Check it out.
So
it's worth it.
It sounds like a fun film.
It is.
All right, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. The best motion picture and drama. So we have a few things. Honestly, I think the one that I want to win out of all this is A Star Is Born, which I was really emotionally attached to this film, and I thought it was just a really good telling of the story. Now, what I think will win is either this film, If Beale Street Could Talk, or Black Panther. Because you have Black Panther here, you know, we've talked about this. Everybody's talked about it. How the Oscars actually brought a new category to you know the award ceremony, but they took it away, and it's more or less because of Black Panther, just the most popular film award. And so clearly, if it's it's going all the way from that, if they had that category that they would pop up, and now it's popping up in this category, clearly it's a front runner for something that's going to win, possibly. And so I like Black Panther a lot. I think Steven likes it a little bit more. But especially for Michael B. Jordan, that's probably the best part of that movie, in my opinion. But if it has such a strong presence, such an early movie from February, right? You got a film that's going to come and snag it. So that's what I think. What do you think?
I would just like to say that there is only one movie, one choice in this category that I'm pulling for, and it is Black Panther. I do want to recognize BLACKKKlansman. I thought it was great. Definitely won. But I think that because of Black Panther, I think the success of Black Panther is responsible for some of the success of some of these other movies. You have Crazy Rich Asians, The Hate U Give, which wasn't nominated, but another movie. And I think if Black Panther was not as successful as it was, some of these other movies may not have had some of the shared success. So I think that there's just so much to this movie. It's worth the win. It deserves it.
It's a cultural milestone.
It's a milestone. Yeah. It's historical, and there's just so much involved. And I feel like that even for the type of movie that it is, it really wasn't made with award season in mind.
No.
So to even be nominated and a part of this, it really does. It's something that would be great to see it win. And I think in reality, it may also be, if it doesn't happen for Crazy Rich Asians in the last category, it'll be Black Panther taking this category for Best Motion Picture that night.
Well, Black Panther, I think it might steal the show a little bit, but we'll see. Star Is Born's up there, BLACKKKlansman's up there, Beale Street Can Talk is there, and so is Bohemian Rhapsody, which is a good film as well. So now we're going to take a quick little break, real quick, and then we're going to come back with television. All right, so now that Steven and I are back from a short little break, I tried to meet the dog, but it didn't go successfully, and so that dog, anyway, it's crazy anyway. So this is the category that we don't really know jack about, so we're going to probably be really quick about it. So, all right, let's talk about Best Television Series Drama. What do you think is going to win?
I have no idea on any of these, so this is a complete guess. I'm going to... I know that FX has that series, so I'm going to go with the assassination of Gianni Versace, American Crime Story. The last one...
Where are we at?
In the series... Oh, wait.
I'm talking about Best Television Series Drama. we still don't know what we're picking. But...
Okay,
like that one's not in there. All right, now that we're back on track, Best Television Series Drama. What are you thinking?
All right, I'm going to go with. I think that Killing Eve is going to take it.
That's my random pick.
It is. I know that it has a lot of momentum. I mentioned it to a couple people, and they say they've watched it, they've loved it. I have not seen it. I have no idea. But there are a lot of articles out there about it, and it appears to be a great show.
Ditto. I haven't really seen any of the film or the television series. I know several of them. I haven't seen them though, like The Americans and Homecoming. I know of, but I'm picking Killing Eve as well because I read an article about it. Honestly, I didn't look at any of the articles for any of the motion pictures, but I definitely looked at articles for television just to make sure I wasn't going in this completely blind, but at the same time kind of going with an expert. And I know that sounds a little convoluted. There's a couple picks that I went against different people, but All right, now we're moving on to Best Television Series, Musical, or Comedy. What do you think?
I would like to see Barry take this one. I've heard good things. HBO always has a great series out there. However, this, again, is going to be another year of streaming shows as favorite, and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is going to take it in this category. Highly nominated, up for lots of buzz. The new season already has a lot of momentum already, so this is going to be the winner. Yeah, honestly, that's the one I've heard most about. I want Barry to win as well. We have a colleague of ours who really, really likes the show, and this is one that I really would like to see win, but I honestly think Marvelous Miss Maisel will win. Either that or Kidding is what I've heard, another show that I've heard a lot about. Jim Carrey.
So, but I think Marvelous Miss Maisel has that. So let's move on to Best Television Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television. This one I'll just say, I think it'll be Sharp Objects. This is speaking of that colleague, he also told me about this. HBO ran a limited series with Amy Adams in it, and I actually have it. I recently bought it. I might do some kind of haul eventually and talk about it for a second. I haven't seen it yet, but that's my pick. I'm randomly going into this. So what do you think? Same. I think Sharp Objects is going to be the winner. I think the other contender is going to be the FX series for Assassination of Gianni Versace. The last American Crime series was good, and I think this one had a lot of buzz as well. Yeah, that's the one he was trying to talk about earlier. But we kept going with that one. Now we're moving on to Best Performance by an Actress in a Television Series Drama. Actually, I think that Julia Roberts has. This is the thing that I wanted to win, but I honestly think that Sandra Oh has it for Killing Eve. Now, this is completely blind, so honestly, that's all I have to say about it. Sandra Oh's going to win. Congratulations to her just in advance. She's also hosting, so that'll be nice. But I think the other contender is Julia Roberts and then Elizabeth Moss for Handmaid's Tale. Yeah. Okay, now we're moving to Best Performance by an Actress in a Television Series, Musical, or Comedy. Who I want to win and who I think is going to win is both Alison Brie for Glow. I've heard nothing but great things from several of my friends who are having a great time with her as this professional wrestler. And so I'll eventually see the show, but that's my person who's gonna win, Alison. My favorite to win is Alison Brie also, but I think that Rachel Brosnahan is going to win it for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. These categories are going to be swept by this show. Yeah. I've heard nothing but things, so I guess I should probably reconsider all the things I'm picking. Now we're moving on from to Best Performance by an Actress in a Limited Series or a Motion Picture Made for Television. And for me, I have Amy Adams here from Sharp Objects. That's who I pick, and that's who I think is going to win as well. Who I think is going to win and who I want to win are the same this time. This is the category I was talking about earlier. It's going to be Regina King for 7 pounds. Oh. For 7 seconds, I'm sorry. Not that Will Smith completely different. Very different. So sorry. But she's going to take it. Excellent performance, and the series itself was very well done. Again, these are the years of streaming productions, and this one is going to take it. Okay, I'll have to definitely check that show out. 7 seconds, 7 pounds, light. Now we're moving to the last actress category, Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role in a Series, Limited Series, or Motion Picture Made for Television. So who I think is going to win this one is either Alex Bornstein through The Marvelous Miss Maisel, and who I want to win is Thandie Newton from Westworld. I haven't seen season 2 of Westworld yet. I'm really looking forward to seeing it, but I know that she does a fantastic job in it, and I've heard good things about it. So that's who I think is going to win, but I don't know. What do you think?
I'm with you. I think I would like to see Tandy Newton win for Westworld. Great performance. I haven't seen the second season as well. It's in my queue. But I think, again, Alice Borstein's going to take it for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. It's going to happen.
Yeah. The sweeping, like you saying.
Yes.
All right, now we're moving on to actors. Best performance by an actor in a television series drama. So who I think here, I have literally no idea. I only know a couple of those guys. But I guess who I want to win is Matthew Rice for The Americans. And who I think is going to win is Stephen James for Homecoming. I completely picked random people. The only person I really know is Jason Bateman for Ozark, and I haven't seen that series yet, but I've heard it's really great. But what do you think? Okay, so same. I did a little bit of research, though, and I think two things are going to happen. Either Jason Bateman is going to win for Ozark because the show has been so well done. He had a little bit of Emmy buzz there with his win earlier. Or it might be a shakeup, and Billy Porter may win for the FX series Pose. It did get a lot of... it was renewed, and it got a lot of buzz over the summer as the show. So I think that may happen. Okay. Well, shake-up that I know nothing about. So now we're moving on to best performance by an actor in a television series, musical, or comedy. So I have my person who I want to win is Bill Hader for Barry, but who I think is going to win is Donald Glover for Atlanta. And that's who I have.
Similar to Black Panther, there is only one choice this time. It has to be Donald Glover for Atlanta. The show is complex. It has substance. It is the biggest contender. I think Barry is a good choice as well. Definitely going to be a contender. If Atlanta doesn't win, Barry will win.
All right, now I'm down to our final two categories. Best performance by an actor in a limited series or motion picture or made for television. So there's a lot of really big names in this category. But I have only seen them in a lot of films, not really television series. But who I want to win is, I've just picked randomly. I think Daniel Bruhl is going to win for The Alienist. And who I think is going to win is Darren Criss for the assassination of Gianni Versailles in American Crime Story. Mainly because we confirmed a little bit earlier, and that's what I'm thinking about.
Same here. Darren Criss is probably going to win. Who I would like to see win is Antonio Banderas going for Genius Picasso. A little bit of offbeat, something different from him, but nicely done.
Yeah. And now we're on to our final category, which of the whole entire television series, which we know nothing about. Once again, the best performance by an actor in a supporting role in a series, limited series, or motion picture made for television. So, who I want to win is because I love this guy so much, Alan Arkin. This guy's hilarious, and I haven't seen the Komsky Method, but that's who I want to win. Who I think is going to win is Edgar Ramirez for, once again, the assassination of Gianni Versailles in American Crime Story. That's what I have here.
The best I got is Succession is in my queue. It is the next series that I'm about to start from HBO. So I'm pulling for Kieran Culkin to win. I've heard so many great things about the show already, so I think it could happen. I think that Henry Winkler might take it for Barry. We'll see what happens, but I think it might be another surprise category where there's a random win. I think it might be his.
Hey, might be him. So that is our picks. I want to thank all of you for stopping by and watching all the way through this entire part. And I also want to thank Steven for coming on once again. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
And it's always great to have different opinions, talk about the Golden Globes, especially, you know, this is really early on and we haven't seen a lot of the films. So, honestly, give us a little bit of credit. We're educating, you know, we're doing our hypothesis. We're just making an educated guess here. And so, thank you so much for checking this video out. Thanks for staying with us for so long. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below. What are your picks? Who do you think is going to win in all these categories? If you want to really post it all down there, or you just want to post just one category, it's fine too. Tell us how we're wrong, also. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and also we'll see you next time. I'm not jonesing around.